I'm here with the one and only Nick Arrojo. Nick, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing really good. Good to see you, and you look great in your T-shirt, sporting the Sassoon.
Yes, which you went to Sassoon. That's where you started your career, right?
That's right. 10 years at Sassoon's. It was a brilliant start.
So, Nick, let's talk about, firstly, the event here today. Laura Condon, the author of Spa Wars, she's putting together a nice event for social networking for bloggers. How does that make you feel that's in your salon, man? It's pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah, we love it. This is what we're really, into. We have a big facility here, a big space. I really believe that that's the way to communicate, to connect with people that are blogging, people that are putting out there. This is like the best kind of promotion for yourself that you can actually tangibly feel, because when you work in the PR world, you're not as quite connected. Look how cute all these people are. They look great, and they're connecting with my staff. And to be a host, it's not the first event we've done like this, and it certainly won't be the last. In fact, we have a really huge event that we're holding for 25 top bloggers in New York for our anniversary party, which is on September the 7th. So you got to come back. Can you handle that?
I can, man. I can. I'll definitely be here, So let's talk about social media, social networking. That's really a lot of what I do. Interviews, and I share it with thousands of people in our industry. How has social networking helped your business?
Well, it's all about, communicating and connecting. So today, 10 years ago, you wasn't really communicating like this on the web. Today you can do that. The world is changing because of what the web brings us and the ability for people to communicate to each other. And you can get viral. Magazines used to be one of the main things that you would give you information, and you was fed information, whereas today all you need to do is go and ask the computer to feed whatever you want to find out. So it's changed, and I'm really starting to understand a little bit more about that, because it's a whole different business model to the world that I grew up in. Because the world I grew up in was you buy a magazine and hopefully they wrote something good about what you was interested in, and you'd follow those magazines because they would, connect you with things that you liked. Today, like I say, you can just find out whatever you want, whenever you want, and it gives the power to the people. So it's not just about the beauty editors. It gives the real power to the people like yourself, who are building their own profile, their own network, and using the viral tools out there to make it happen. It started off with MySpace, and now you have Facebook, and you have Twitter, and this connectivity, and there's plenty of them that they're starting to become now part of our lives, and it's only going to get better, stronger, and communication is traveling so much faster now than it ever has. So I think it really is, it's massive, and it's massive potential, and that's what I'm about. I think that the tastemakers are the people that are out there that can see things, and they create followings, and if you can kind of connect with those tastemakers and you have synergistic vision. When I was a kid, you used to just go down to the club. You go to the best club, and that's where you do your social networking. Today, you don't need to go to the club. In fact, you can't even get in the club because it's usually a row. Unless you're 19 or 21, you can't get into the club. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So
today, I think that the power of connectivity through social media is huge. And for hairdressing in particular, because we're in the reputation business. So, again, I've got very successful being on TV, but, you can be successful on the web now, because now you can actually watch video on the web.
Right.
So, it's limitless, and I think that the hairdressing industry is really just getting to understand that. I think we're still at the very, very beginning. I don't think we're at the end, and I don't even think we're halfway through. I think we're still right at the very beginning. And I'm, trying to work out for my business how to connect. Look at all these brilliant people that are in this place today. All these people are potential clients, and each single one of them could give me another 10 potential clients.
That's right. Well, that I've heard that the internet is so young. It's about 16, 17 years old. The internet hasn't had sex yet. That's how young it is. You know what I mean? It's funny, but it's still kind of premature in a way, and that people are starting. Now, the thing about that is there's a lot of people, I get the excuse.
There's plenty of sex on the internet, though.
That's a whole other interview.
That's how he started.
There's a lot of people that are they say, oh, I am internet illiterate. They don't know how to turn on a computer. They're not into social networking. And it's nice to see that people are getting familiar with Facebook and Twitter and all these things, and they're using that. And it's finally starting to happen. It's taking a long time, but our industry was never known for that. Our industry was known for you do good haircuts, commercials, like you were saying before. And I'm really glad that you've helped step up the notch for that. And I want to talk to you about branding and how you've begun your career, because you started out as a hairstylist. You came over here. I remember seeing you at the IBS in New York. Just doing your thing, starting out with the salon, the razor, and you have all angles covered, from the salon, the school, the product line, TV. I want to be like a mini Nick, and it's incredible, man. And that's why I'm so happy to talk to you. How do you do it all, man?
Well, I'm very ambitious, and I learn all the time, and I always try to be on the cutting edge of what's current, and I try to be visionary, and I look at people like yourself that you think are visionary, and you follow companies and brands that you think are visionary, and then you try to create some innovation in your own industry. Luckily, I've had some successes and I've had some great opportunities, and I've really tried to maximize those opportunities. I'm just the same as you, same as everybody else out there. And I think that if somebody can achieve something, in this world, why can't you? So my goal is always to try to learn from the best, surround myself with the best, and also, to stay connected to the youth, because it's the young people that really have great ideas, because they don't have inhibition. It's not like, oh, we've done this before, or this won't work. They're really great at connecting because they're growing up in a brand new world. I mean, I'm 45 years of age now, so I've got to stay really connected to the youth. That's why I have a lot of young staff, the young talent. They're very creative, they're very fashion forward, they're very focused. And I like to think of my hairdressers as connectors, and I think that when you're building your brand, it's the power of the people and that personal connectivity. And when I talk, what I've tried to do is establish, first and foremost, a salon, because that's at the core of hairdressing, a salon where you have people coming through the door. Then you've got the power of connectivity, and on understanding what creating a good salon was all about creating great education. So they're the salon, then the education, and then realizing that, hey, if I've got all these clients coming through the door, maybe they'll actually, purchase a Arrojo product. So I've really just tried to leverage one opportunity to the next, and I'm still working really hard to figure it all out. It's not like I go to bed at night and say, I've got all the answers. It's like I'm watching you on Hairbrained, seeing you create your own template for yourself, the Salon Guy, making it happen. Now I know you're one of the 10 coolest people in New York. I'm number 263. You're in the top 10, which is awesome. But that, you're a go-getter. And I think that if you want to be successful, that's what you've got to be. And you can't live in fear. You have to kind of live like in a place where let's keep the doors open, let's welcome people in. I'm very fortunate because I am ambitious. I've created a lot of great things, but to me, like, even this facility, it's not about the bricks and the walls, it's about the people. And this place sits empty, that's no good. I want this place to be filled. So we've had plenty of last night in this area, we had a fashion presentation from one of our stylists. It was awesome. So we're always doing stuff, and we're not doing it for the cameras, we're just doing it. And every now and again the cameras turn up, and that's great. And it captures it, and then it takes us out even further. So I think stay positive, stay optimistic, and look at what everyone else is doing and realize that the power of connectivity is magical. And if you can continue to kind of make your opportunities and stay focused on that. I mean, remember, I still feel like Arrojo is still an American brand. We've not even got global yet. So the world's a really big place, and that's one of my visions, is in the next 10 years to kind of take my brand in a more global perspective and see where that takes me.
Interesting. I am about to step into the realm of reality TV. I'm filming for my own reality show starting next month.
Great.
But it's going to be online though.
Good.
And it's going to really help our industry and make our industry look good. What advice can you give me about reality TV, man? I mean, I know you were on TV, and it was interesting.
Reality TV is not real. It should be called unreality reality TV. That's really what reality TV is, because a lot of it's fabricated.
Right.
Okay, it's fabricated but without a script. Okay, so they kind of, and then the way in which you film something, you can make something look positive or negative. I mean, I was watching reality TV last night, watching one of the housewife things, And I think to myself, how do they get all of these people together? And how do they, create all of that stuff? And how fabricated is it? Because there is always fabrication. And being in the TV world for the last, 10 years, I learned a lot. I always say, I have a great saying, it's called eyes wide open. Wherever you go, keep learning. I'm learning right here, right now. So eyes wide open, keep learning. I think that now is the perfect time for someone like yourself to say, hey, you know what? We can do something reality on TV. I don't know what your concept is. I don't know what your idea is, but you can make it happen. And I have, plenty of, ideas for broadcast, and I'm going to continue to have those ideas. But it's about what is your number one goal? What do you want to be on TV for? What do you want to create a pilot for? What do you want to create a show for? Right. That's what it's all about. You got to look at what your motive is, and then focus on that, because is it about ego, or is it about, intent, is it about content that you want people to see? There's a lot of content in the hair business that no one really gets to see. So I think there's great potential for that. And, and there's newer tools now every month or every year that are coming out that gives you accessibility to be able to use the web to do streaming footage. So you can do so much great stuff, and it's something that even in my brand, with my online subscription, which we have, which is growing, which is really exciting, and how we're going to start to connect even through the new Hairbrain TV, which I know you know. Right. So these things that we're very aware of, it's the guys like us, the independents, that can jump on this stuff a lot quicker than the big corporations. Right. And my advice to you is, if you can see it, then you can conceive it and make it happen. You just have to believe in yourself, and then focus on delivering. Because ideas are easy, execution's always the hardest.
Well, the phrase is 80% is believing in it and 20% is doing it, something like that, right? You just got to believe you can do it, and just.
Yeah, I don't know about the percentages, but I always say, if you don't know where you're going, how are you going to get there?
Exactly.
So you got to focus on where you're going, and then there's a great chance you're going to get there. And you're only going to get there if you work really hard. And if you're a hard worker, then you'll get there. And if you're not a hard worker, you'll limit your chance of how much success you'll have. But look at it, you're out, you're filming, you're meeting people, right. You're here, you're one of the top 10 coolest guys in New York. It's awesome. I think it's brilliant.
Nick,
I've watched you on TV a few times. I've watched you on the internet a few times.
Thank you.
Well, and you got a nice reputation. People speak kindly of you. So that's great, because what that means is you're opening doors by being a good guy. Yep. So these are things that are very, very important. And if you get success, and as you gain success, don't change. You know what I mean? Because if you change, then you might shut the catalyst that actually enabled you to get that success. So that, I think, is the most important thing. As you grow and become more successful, which you will, because that's your power of intent, just make sure you keep these 2 feet on the ground.
I will. I always say that the minute it becomes about you, that's when everything falls apart. Everything I do is for other people, to inspire. I mean, I look up to people like yourself, and I find people and I stick to them, and I watch them, and I learn from them, and that's what motivates me and inspires me. So everything I do is for other people to watch and become inspired by. I don't think about myself. I think about everyone else. And I think that's what people they get that vibe from me, and that's why I guess that's why things are growing. I don't know, but
congratulations, you're delivering things to the marketplace in a nice way, and that's why people will watch. Do you know what I mean? Yep.
And Nick, one last thing about your school and students coming out, future professionals, so to speak. Yeah. A lot of people now, the salons are closing down throughout. I'm from New Jersey. Salons all over the place are closing down. They're not getting the students coming out of school. They expect things. They walk into a salon, expect to have a chair right away. Salons aren't giving the proper service. This industry is at an interesting point right now. You're keeping afloat because of all these great things you're doing. But what advice can you give to new people maybe graduating from your school or other schools, and salon owners to say, look, this is how you're going to stay open these days? I know it's a lot of stuff, but
I just hired 3 new apprentices today. I have no challenge finding new talent. It's not hard. I think the biggest challenge that we have is having good leaders. If you have good leaders, good salon owners, good mentors, the key to success is through education. I think a lot of young people, they want to be educated. I'm really connected to schools. I'm connected to Empire schools. I'm a spokesperson for Empire. We have our Masters of Beauty program. I meet students every week, and I have to tell you that a lot of students, all they want is they want a great education. There's not enough salons offering a solid education. There really isn't. What happens is we're set up in a system that salons don't necessarily invest enough in training their own staff. And that to me is the challenge. You know, in this business, what you have to do is you have to train your own staff. You don't need to take stylists from other salons. Train your own staff, build a great educational system so that people want to come to work for you. It's not hard, because I know what every training program in New York City is all about, and this is one of the, you know, top spots in America for hair. This is, you know, the metropolis right here, and I know what educational programs are out in this marketplace, and I have to tell you, I don't think it's good enough. And I think that there is a knock-on effect, and I'll tell you what that knock-on effect is. If a salon's not succeeding today, it's because that salon owner didn't have the right education. It's catching up on itself. There's plenty of room for growth. My business, I just looked at statistics. I'm 10% growth on the year. I'm not going backwards, I'm going forwards. And I'm doing that through education. And I'm connected to schools, and I'm connected to young people wanting to become very, very talented. So we need more good role models. There's no quick, easy way to make money. You have to do the heavy lifting, and the heavy lifting is training, teaching, mentoring, and eventually the money starts to flow. The problem is no one has a realistic idea on, or they're very difficult to understand that just getting in hairdressers, this is a low profit industry. You a salon owner? I don't know if you are a salon owner.
No, but 19 years I've been doing it.
It's a low profit industry. Most of your money goes out to the stylist. The stylist, you know, starts to feel that it's all about them. It's an ego business. And then what happens is the successful stylist thinks that the salon owner is making all the money. And that's clearly not the case. You're looking at a 5 to 7% profit margin if you're lucky, and you have to work really hard to make that small amount of money. So my advice to everybody is surround yourself by successful people, stay focused on education, be realistic about what your expectation is. The biggest challenge that all salons have is maximizing their sale with retail. They don't know how to do that. And we need to have better, greater mentors, and people need to get involved in this industry and really own it. And that's something that I'm trying to do. You know, that's what I'm about. I'm about, you know, I have 28 apprentices right now. You know, it's the end of July, the beginning of August. It's probably the quietest time for me in my salon. But guess what I'm doing? I'm using that quiet time to host events like this. I have 6 hairdressers here, working, hanging out, volunteers, hanging out. Why? Because it's not about the money. It's about the experience. And if you do the right things, this is what I've learned in life, the money turns up. So for every salon owner there in the business that is having a tough time, there's people out there that can help you, people like me. We're here to help. We're here to help support. We're here to help, you know, motivate, inspire. You know, that keeps me inspired. I've got a huge team of people that work for me, 110 people. You know, I had 3 new apprentices today. I had a new school agent, and I had somebody new for the back office. I had a new accountant this week. This week alone, 6 new jobs. So I'm pushing forward, and you know, I could be at home, but I'd rather be here. You know, because I know that if I'm here and I can kind of connect and meet, these are my future clients. This is a business building event, and it's not costing me much at all. But you know what? It's going to generate so much enthusiasm and energy, and you got to just believe in it, you know. Because I'll tell you something that's definitely true. Almost 10 years ago, when I started Arrojo, I had $25,000 and nothing else. And today, I have a multi-million-dollar business, and I have no debt, and I have a lot of optimism about the future, even though it's a negative economy. But I work really hard. Nobody's giving me anything. I work really hard for everything that I've got. I make great relationships with great people, and I'm really focused on the prize, which is being happy and being successful.
Wow, you just wrote a book right now, Nick. I mean, I'm sitting here listening to this. This is very valuable information, and I know you have a lot of people who want to talk to you tonight, but Nick, I just got to say, I got to shake your hand, man.
It's good.
Good
thank
you.
See you in the salon. I love it. I'm glad
I know.
You're here. I know we've been teetering around doing an interview at a trade show. I know you came to my party in New York. So I'm glad we managed to get. So when I read that my brother said, this guy's coming. He wants to do an interview. I said, the Salon Guy? You mean? And he said, seriously, this is what he said. He said, the Salon Guy is one of the top 10 people in New York City. So watch this guy. He is cool. And it's a pleasure to get to talk to you. And thanks a lot. And hopefully we'll do it again as we continue to navigate. And good luck with your TV stuff. And if there's anything we can do to help you, let us know. We got a lot of people here, and I have a lot of people that want to do a lot of great things. So, Thanks a lot.
No problem. Cheers, Nick, and have fun tonight. And I'm looking forward to mingling and talking to people. But it's an honor, man. Thank you so much. All right.
Cheers, buddy. Nice time for a drink.